if you're an outsider looking in, you can look at those things, but we don't necessarily evaluate like that, and just respect our opponent and respect what's coming at us.
All right, big question. How does Nebraska slow Madison Skinner? Complicated question. Give me one or two critical elements if that's going to happen today. Something Wisconsin and Stanford could not do.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, phenomenal athlete. We're going to make her play the ball a lot, and I think just being constantly like eyes on her, right? But obviously she's going to get her kills. So I think respecting that she's going to have some points, but not letting that control us, and just continue to focus on our side of the net and what we can control. And that's our execution, how we communicate, all those other things that really matter. And that's going to help us stop her, I guess.
Now, she's a fourth-year junior. You would know better than any. Does she have future national team and maybe Olympic team potential?
Oh, yeah, most definitely. Yeah, very talented. And she's great. And it's really cool to see just her over the years, right, from coming from Kentucky to now Texas, and just how much she's grown. And, really cool to see what the future holds for her as well.
Jordan Larson, all right, hypothetical. If we get into a close game, at least historically, it seems like Harper gets a lot of big swings. Yeah. If you're the Tsarina, you're controlling everything, and it's 24-24, which Husker do you trust the most, or a couple of Huskers do you trust a lot to take a swing like that?
You know, I think the person that is running the ship is Bergen, and I trust her that she's going to do and put our hitters in the best position possible, and she is kind of the silent edge that I think this team needs, and I trust in that she's going to put our hitters, whoever that may be, to make the final kill, or, big points, as they say. But just in general, I think that we have a great team, and I think it's going to be a team win regardless, whoever takes the big swing or the final kill or whatever. It's the journey that mattered, and kind of how we go about business and how we execute.
All right, Jordan, lastly, you've only been around this group for a little less than 3 months. Yeah. How much do you care about these kids?
Oh, man, they're like my babies, my kids. Just to see them, just even in the 3 months that I've been a part of it. Obviously, I was with them a little bit earlier, but in and out. So just to see them and how much they just love the game, which makes me love the game even more. And when they execute something and you can see just like this beam of joy, it gives me so much joy to see that. And it's really fun to be a part of and on this side of it. And just I'm so excited for today, just because I know that they've worked so hard to get here, and just like everyone, right? Like it's a hard deal, and doing what they're doing is hard, and I'm just really, really proud.
That's Jordan Larson, native daughter of Hooper. The ratio of Olympic gold medals coming out of Hooper to streetlights in Hooper, 1-to-1. Stay right there. More pregame, Nebraska and Texas coming up. You'll hear it right here. This is Big Red Volleyball.
Feel like you're always on the run? Me too. As an independent financial professional, I help all kinds of busy people. Young families planning for college, couples working toward retirement, people securing their legacy. Wherever you are in life, Emeritus can help you get more out of life with insurance, employee benefits, and financial services. You're moving fast. Let's help make sure you're on the path to a fulfilling life. Find your next step at emeritus.com. Insurance products issued by Emeritus Life Insurance Corp.
Hey, Mom. Yeah, I got in a crash. I'm okay. I was wearing my seatbelt.
People count on you to buckle up. Brought to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
It's being well supported by a provider who understands your health interests and goals. It's ensuring you are well connected to a team of caregivers and specialists. It's feeling well cared for by having someone you can turn to who sees you for you. That's the power of being well matched. And that's exactly what CHI Health Clinic's My Provider Match does. Meet the provider who is right for you at myprovidermatch.com.
Farming today is a combination of hard work, innovation, and partnerships to help keep us moving forward. Sapp Brothers Petroleum has provided us with fuel, propane, and lubricants on the farm for many years.
For over 52 years, Sapp Brothers has been a reliable partner to thousands of farmers across our great state. We work hard to make sure our customers have the most reliable supply, provided in the safest manner and at the most competitive price. Trust Sapp Brothers Petroleum to protect your equipment and keep your farm fueled. Sapp Brothers is proud to be an official partner of Huskers Athletics and to serve Nebraska farmers and Husker fans across America's heartland.
There are a lot of rates out there, and it can be tough to find the right one. Well, let's make it easy. With FNBO's special offer CD of 5.5% APY for 3 or 7 months, you can earn more, save more, and do more. That's 5.5% annual percentage yield for 3 or 7 months with a minimum deposit of $500 and an FNBO Premier checking account. Give your savings a great big boost with the Great Big Small Bank. FNBO, member FDIC.
It's time for Big Red Volleyball, brought to you by Emeritus, your guide on a path to a fulfilling life. Here's the voice of Huskers Volleyball, John Baylor.
Greetings again, Nebraska, downtown Tampa, Amalie Arena, Texas, and Nebraska. Your Huskers are already out there warming up, stretching, getting loose, making sure everything's working. Going into this match, Texas yet to appear here. The place is filling up on Thursday night. 19,598 attendees. That is the largest crowd for an indoor volleyball match. 19,598. Let's see if we get there today with no Wisconsin fans, presumably, and no Pittsburgh fans. And this place is filling up. Lots of red already. We'll try to calibrate what percentages of the fandom is wearing red. Well, hi again, folks. I'm John Baylor. Nebraska 33-1. One step from national championship number 6. This is championship match number 11. The Huskers are 5-5 in title matches, going to a 5th set and dropping their last 2. 2018 in Minneapolis to Stanford and 2021 in Columbus to Wisconsin. And 2017 was the last championship. Michaela Fecky's junior year, Kelly Hunter's senior year back in Kansas City over the Florida Gators. Meanwhile, only 3 national championships for Texas, so they get to the championship match a lot. They have only won twice in their last 6 appearances. They are 2-4 in their last 6 appearances here in the championship match. They won it in 1988, 2012, and 2022. All time, the Huskers are 33-24 against Texas, but let's hopscotch down memory lane. Basically, these two schools found each other surrounding a net for years. Terry Pettit, Mick Haley, the legendary coaches of Nebraska and Texas volleyball, made it a point in the 1980s to play each other at least once every year, and they did so for 10 consecutive years before the advent of the Big 12 Conference, when, of course, it was Texas and Nebraska twice every year. Well, by making sure, usually in November, that Nebraska got a great opponent in Texas and vice versa, what they were doing were planting the seeds, not just for a better Nebraska and a better Texas volleyball, but a better sport, creating these marquee matchups in mid-November. Why? In part because they both were coming from conferences that didn't provide sufficient competition, the old Big 8 and the old Southwest Conference. Well, that changed in the old Big 12 when these two are the titans of that conference in the sport of volleyball. But it was all Nebraska early on. In the first 19 matches, when both schools were in the Big 12, Nebraska was 17-2. And then Texas started to catch up. The Huskers then got to 20-3, and thereafter Nebraska finished at 22-9 versus Texas when the Huskers exited the Big 12 Conference in 2010. What happened? Well, Nebraska ran into those vaunted Texas Horn teams in the late 2000s. Julianne Fawcett, Destiny Hooker. You wonder, why didn't those teams pile up national championships? They didn't. Destiny Hooker, one of the great players in the history of volleyball at this level, has 0 national championships. Well, the great Texas teams of the late 2000s coincided with the great Penn State teams. Megan Hodge, Alicia Glass was the setter. Ariel Wilson won 4 national championships in 4 years for Penn State. So Texas was left at the altar, and then finally they broke through in 2012 and won a national championship, in part because Micah Hancock, the great setter for Penn State in 2012, got injured in the national semifinal. I talked to one of their assistant coaches, and they said Penn State was easily the best team in that 2012 final. Micah Hancock goes down. You lose your starting center. That changes everything. Finally, Jared Elliott got his first national championship in 2012. And then last year, in part, thanks to a lot of help through the old transfer portal, especially defensively, especially the libero Zoe Fleck. And don't underestimate the impact of Nebraska transfer Kayla Akana to settle them down in the back row. Texas got their 3rd national championship. Jarrett Elliott. But make no mistake, as every Husker fan knows, these two have been interlocked really since the 1990s, maybe even the late 1980s, and certainly magnified when they were both in the same conference, and of late finding a way to meet each other in the postseason. In 2013, Kelsey Robinson's final match, a regional final, the Huskers go down in 3 to Texas. In 2015, it's Nebraska turning the trick and sweeping Texas and Omaha in the national championship match. A freshman by the name of Michaela Fecke was your MVP in that postseason tournament. Michaela had 17, make it 19 kills in that championship match over Texas, something that Harper Murray will try to duplicate against Texas here tonight. And then in 2016, the Horns swept Nebraska in December. And then in 2020, Texas was able to beat Nebraska in the regional final. And then in 2021, arguably one of the great Nebraska wins of all time in the regional final at Austin, it was the Big Red over the Burnt Orange. Doesn't get any better than this. As it's meant to be, Nebraska and Texas for a championship. It would be Texas's 4th in NCAA sanctioned volleyball. It would be Nebraska's 6th. All time, Stanford leads the way with 9. Penn State with 7. Nebraska 3rd with 5 for the moment. UCLA with 4. And then 4 teams have 3 titles. Texas, USC, Long Beach, and Hawaii. And Pacific with 2 titles. So Texas trying to climb out of that clump. 4 teams with 3 championships. Nebraska trying to get one closer to Penn State and Stanford. The Big Red and the Burnt Orange here this late afternoon on the HRN. We come right back. Nicklin Hames, 5 years the starting setter, 1 year a volunteer graduate assistant. This is her curtain call. She's going to be leaving the program after today, and with a barrel full of memories, and leaving as one of the great Huskers of all time. Once a Husker, always a Husker. And who knows when she might be back. But for now, she's got a lot of emotions as she gets ready. Will it be her final match on the bench in 6 years? She's been with the program for the last 6 years. Nicklin Hames, we come right back. The Huskers and Texas for the title this afternoon. You're listening to the Huskers Radio Network.
Hi, this is Husker National Champion and Super Bowl champ Tony Veland. Throughout my football career, chiropractic care helped my athletic performance on the field and kept me in the game. Today, regular chiropractic care keeps me healthy and active to do the things I love. Chiropractic is safe and effective for all ages. Make chiropractic your first choice to reduce pain, improve your mobility, and feel better naturally. It works for me, and it can work for you too. Learn more at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Stay active with chiropractic.
DIY? Didn't you just call an electrician? The online videos can only take you so far, and John Henry's is here to pick up where you left off. With our full-service electrical department, John Henry's is prepared to tackle all of your electrical needs, from a simple outlet change to a full panel replacement. We've got you covered. Call John Henry's to schedule today.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing. Heating and air.
From the whey protein in your smoothie to a protein-packed Greek yogurt parfait or a cheese stick on the road and a chocolate milk following a tough workout, dairy has your back. Take a moment to reset yourself with dairy and help fuel your performance goals. Not only are dairy farmers keeping you sustained on and off the court, but they are also producing your favorite dairy foods sustainably on local farms. Huskers Volleyball, congratulations on an undeniably great season from your local dairy farm families.
Farmers, ensure your engines have the power and performance to get the job done. Central Valley Ag can help with Ruby Fieldmaster Diesel. With 4.5% more power and up to 5% better fuel economy, you can be sure your equipment is running on the best fuel. Register to win 500 gallons of Ruby Diesel when you contract 500 gallons or more. Enter to win at cvacoop.com. Our planet is hungry. Together, we feed it. There's room at the table. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
You'll be seeing us around soon. And when you do, I bet you'll call us BMO. Don't worry, it's more common than you think, but we actually pronounce it BMO. As in, with BMO, you can earn a cash reward every month you save. Or, did you know BMO's been helping customers for over 200 years? So when you do see us, pop in and say hi. Not to BMO, to BMO. And yes, bank is still pronounced bank. Learn more about us at BMO.com. BMO. Conditions apply. Accounts are subject to approval and are provided in the United States by BMO Bank N.A. member FDIC.
Back to Nebraska postseason volleyball, presented by John Henry's, the official plumbing, HVAC, and electrical partners of the Huskers.
Welcome back downtown Tampa, Amalie Arena site tonight for the 2023 National Championship. There's Texas. Here are your Huskers, and one on the sideline has been around now for 6 years, 5 playing and 1 as a graduate assistant. A little bit of a goodbye here for now. Once a Husker, always a Husker. But Nicklin Hames, you've been on this stage before. 2 Final Fours. You got to 2 national championship matches. So close each time. What advice do you have for these players as they mentally prepare for this biggest of stage?
Yeah, when I look back on my 2, I think you just have to take it all in for a moment. When you get there, it's the biggest stage. You've dreamed of it since you were a little girl. I mean, when I committed to Nebraska, it was my dream to get to play for national championships. So being on that stage, just being really grounded, taking a deep breath, and then just being in every moment, being present, because once you're done, you look back at it and you watch these games, and it makes me emotional just to watch it because of how special those moments are with your teammates, and you get to do it with your best friends competing on the highest stage ever. So it's really cool just to still be a part of it.
Of course, Nicklin, you finished last year. Your Final Fours were 2018 and 2021. Everyone talks about the growth of the sport. Is the Final Four measurably bigger than you remember just 5 and 2 years ago, or is it about the same as you experienced yourself?
Yeah, I think it's getting bigger every year with the media presence and people paying attention to it, and just the fact that the game is on ABC today, we're playing on a Sunday, is I think iconic for the sport. And just this year in general, I've seen so much growth in women's sports and volleyball in general. It started with the Huskers having that game in Memorial Stadium, so to be a part of history is really cool, and I just love where this sport is going, and people are interested. So the more you show it, the more people will show up and they'll keep watching. So I love that people are really getting invested in this sport.
These players, and you're a graduate assistant, have experienced so many distractions, all the fans, all the media attention. How do you think they're handling it?
I think they're honestly handling it like pros, and it's because they're competitors. At the end of the day, they want to win so bad, and I think that's why they've been successful so much this season. And I think when the balls start flying and we start playing the game, I think that's all going to go away, and it's just going to be the 14 strong out there, and they're going to perform really well tonight. So I'm excited to watch it.
One thing Husker fans like to do, Nicklin, is sort of hopscotch down memory lane. Let's go to 2018, the national championship in Minneapolis. There's a little freshman named Nicklin Hames setting another freshman, Callie Schwarzenbach. I think it was a sophomore, Jazz Sweets on the right. And Kenzie Maloney's a senior. There's a redshirt sophomore named Lauren Stivrins in the middle. But then there's this greatest of attackers on the left side, Michaela Fecke. One reason, at least I am so attached and so admiring of that year's team, it just seemed like you so overachieved. You took this bunch and you get to Stanford and it's 9-9 in the 5th. Okay, what's the difference between 9-9 in the 5th and falling a little short and winning at the end? If you could speak to these players today, what carries them if it gets really close late?
I think just trusting what you've done all season and just really leaning on each other, and then like going for it in the big moments. I think where we've fallen short maybe in my past too is we've kind of struggled in those big moments. We haven't gone for it, and we've looked back and been like, man, wish we could have had those 2 to 3 points back. Like I always think back about it, I'm like, man, I lost 2 national championships by 3 points, 6 total points, and that's a hard pill to swallow. And you look back, so I feel like they've done a really good job of in those tight points going for it this year. Like Harper Murray 2020, like she plays her best volleyball, and like in a national championship it's going to come down to that, and I'm just excited to see them shine in those big moments.
What does your immediate future hold?
I'm going to watch the game tonight, but yeah, I'm going to stick in volleyball. I'm going to be doing club at VCN, and yeah, just we'll see. I want to stay in coaching. I love this sport, and you know, I've had a lot of great coaches who impacted my life, and that's why I got to the place that I was able to. And so my goal is to be able to do that for other people's lives. So I'm excited.
That's Nicklin Haynes, one of the most beloved Huskers. They're little kids, little girls all over the state named Nicklin. Stay right there. We got more pregame. Nebraska, Texas, the national championship is right here. You're listening to the Huskers Radio Network.
Shop Woodhouse Mazda during the season of inspiration happening now and explore our exceptional lineup. Receive a low APR of 1.9% for 60 months on our entire selection of 2024 Mazda CX-50 models, or 0% APR for 60 months on our full lineup of 2024 Mazda CX-5 models. Plus, take advantage of no payments for 90 days on these offers happening now. With approved credit, tax, title, and license extra when financed through Mazda Financial Services. $299 doc fee due at signing. Offer expires January 2nd, 2024. See dealer for details.
John Henry's would like to remind you, if you haven't already, to unhook your outdoor hoses and check faucets for leaks so your pipes don't freeze. As the official plumber of the Huskers, you know who to call when a plumbing issue arises. From frozen pipes to clogged drains, we can help you protect your home this winter. Give John Henry's a call today to schedule at
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing. Heating and air.
From the whey protein in your smoothie to a protein-packed Greek yogurt parfait or a cheese stick on the road and a chocolate milk following a tough workout, Dairy has your back. Take a moment to reset yourself with dairy and help fuel your performance goals. Not only are dairy farmers keeping you sustained on and off the court, but they are also producing your favorite dairy foods sustainably on local farms. Huskers Volleyball, congratulations on an undeniably great season from your local dairy farm families.
Get ready, Nebraska. The Omaha Supernovas, your Major League Volleyball team, are set to make history when they kick off Season 1 against the Atlanta Vibe on January 24th at the CHI Health Center. Get ready for world-class volleyball with the Supernovas boasting a lineup of former national champions and Olympians. Be a part of the volleyball movement that's sweeping the nation and get your tickets today before they're gone. Visit supernovas.com.
You'll be seeing us around soon. And when you do, I bet you'll call us BMO. Don't worry, it's more common than you think, but we actually pronounce it BMO. As in, with BMO, you can earn a cash reward every month you save. Or, did you know BMO's been helping customers for over 200 years? So when you do see us, pop in and say hi. Not to BMO, to BMO. And yes, bank is still pronounced bank. Learn more about us at BMO.com. BMO. Conditions apply. Accounts are subject to approval and are provided in the United States by BMO Bank N.A. member FDIC.
You're listening to Nebraska Postseason Volleyball, presented by John Henry's, the official plumbing, HVAC, and electrical partners of the Huskers.
Welcome back to the pageantry that is the NCAA Volleyball's Final Four. This place is filling up, anticipating nearly 20,000 inside Amalie Arena. That's a local Tampa area family-owned petroleum company. For those of you who like to patronize the companies that own the naming rights to arenas and also to stadiums and to bowl games, it's going to be a little tricky. This is a locally owned petroleum company, Amalie Arena, home of the Tampa Bay Lightning. There are 3 Stanley Cup champion flags hanging up just above to my right. Today, it's for volleyball's ultimate flag, the 2023 National Championship, Nebraska and Texas. Brought to you by John Henry's, the official plumbing, HVAC, and electrical partner of the Huskers. And this one's also brought to you by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and services to advance agriculture and much more. Acres Solutions for every field. My name's John Baylor. We are courtside here next to the Terraflex 4 with a very blue Tampa Bay logo at the beyond the end line of each side of the court. Both teams are out there warming up right now. Let's bring Lauren Cook-West back into this one. I spoke, Lauren, to Jared Elliott, head coach of Texas, before this one. He says he didn't see this coming. He didn't see this team getting through the gauntlet that was the Stanford Regional, Tennessee, Stanford, and then really dismantling Wisconsin. He gives a bunch of reasons. One is Ella Swindle, the freshman, has grown a lot as a setter. She's a better player. We've talked about that. The second, Jenna Wennis, the former 3-year Minnesota Golden Gopher. She comes back home. She's from outside of Dallas, and it's her 4th year as a collegian. And he says she keeps improving. The one thing we keep talking about is that second outside sitter. The second outside hitter has to be strong to go deep into December. Where we are in the national championship match, Allie Batenhorst has had her moments, and Jenna Wennis, according to their head coach, is playing her best volleyball this year. How big an indicator is it for the outcome of this match whether Jenna Wennis is playing better or Allie Batenhorst as the second outside is playing better?
Well, you've said it since I've started doing broadcasts with you. If you have a strong second outside, you're going to go far or deep in postseason, and you're going to win a national championship most likely. And so I think whichever second outside can step up and get kills today, they're going to. I'm anticipating we're going to see a lot of off passing from both sides, not just Nebraska or not just Texas. I think we'll see both these teams are really strong serving teams, so I think we'll see some off passes. So remember those. Whoever's in that L2 position, that second outside, they get a lot of those out-of-system swings on off passes or off digs. So Wennis is going to have a lot of opportunities to swing out of system. Allie Batenhorst will have a lot of opportunities to swing out of system. And whoever is able to get kills and tool the block, I think that's going to be a huge difference maker in the match today.
But if Allie can have a big match, and last time she played Texas, that was 2021. Remember how that thing ended? That was sweet. And who was in the middle of that dog pile after the Husker win? Kayla Akana. Next thing you know, she's throwing on burnt orange. First time we've seen her. Do you think that has any effect here? Or it's been such a long time that even though Kayla is playing against her old buddies against Nebraska and vice versa, not an issue. She's just become really a pillar as a back row defender for Texas. No surprise.
I think hopefully it doesn't play too much into the match today, those previous or former relationships. I think you don't really focus on that when you're in the moment and in the match, but there's a lot of history between Nebraska and Texas with Eric Sullivan, a former assistant at Nebraska. You have Kayla Akana, a former player at Nebraska. So a lot of, they used to play, both teams used to play in the Big 12. A lot of crossovers. I could keep going on and on about that, but there's history between these two teams, and I think that will play into the matchup today.
No chance they'll be adding time to the clock at the end of this one. Meanwhile, one thing Jared said is their superpower. Team chemistry for Texas, which I'd suggest is Nebraska's superpower. Both these teams need to manage the moment, and boy, did they on Thursday.
I have not watched enough of Texas to know that team chemistry is their superpower, but what I will say to that is some of the losses in the season and, almost losing to Tennessee, I think that maybe shows you that team chemistry isn't perfect. Now, maybe it's improved in the postseason, and that's why Coach Jared Elliott is saying that. But this Nebraska team, they have stayed solid the entire season, and never once were you questioning that team chemistry, that team effort. And I feel like in the past Texas teams, we've questioned the team chemistry. We've questioned the effort.
2021, they were yelling at each other.
Oh, absolutely. And so, again, it circles back to which Texas team will we see show up today.
All right, Nebraska and Texas getting ready to indicate just how strong this chemistry is. I was chatting with Caroline Jarovicius this year. Now, this morning, she hasn't even played this whole year. And she has remarked how sad she is that this is the end today. No matter what the outcome, this is the end for this year. She hasn't even played this year. And that's how fondly she feels about this experience. This is just a remarkably connected group. And that means a lot in this sport.
When I think back to, there was a picture posted of Bergen Riley and Kennedy Orr, and I believe it was after maybe that Arkansas match, and you had Bergen and Kennedy, arms around each other, and just joy, pure joy on both of their faces. And look at that situation. They were both the top setters in their recruiting classes. Kennedy ended up losing out on that starting position to Bergen. and they competed for the same spot, and Bergen ultimately ended up winning, and they still love each other. They still are great friends, teammates off the court. They hang out, and they're not in the transfer portal. You don't see, one complaining or saying negative things about the other. It's just a really strong friendship and teammateship that they have between each other. And if that doesn't tell you everything that you need to know about this team, then I don't know what will.
And Kennedy Orr has carved out a very important role as a serving specialist. She had a huge dig against Pittsburgh on Thursday.
It's not just her defense, but it's when she goes back and serves, she runs points in her rotation, JB. And that's what, when you're bringing in a serving substitution, I mean, you hope that they can serve aggressive, serve tough, stress the opposing passers. Also, if they have to dig or pick up a tip, they're able to do that, or step in and set a second contact. She can do all of that, and then she runs points when she's back there serving. So you can trust that as long as she's getting her serve in, she's probably going to run a few points.
Good things happen when Kennedy Orr serves, which is saying a lot because there's no libero out there. And she's winning points when there's no Lexi Rodriguez. Now, the other thing that Texas head coach Jared Elliott cited as the reason they're here, besides the improvement of the setter, this freshman Ellis Swindle from Columbia, Missouri, I might add. Jenna Wenis, who came home and transferred from Minnesota. She's from the Dallas area. She's gotten better all year. This team chemistry, they got healthy. Nebraska may be as healthy as they've been now in 8 weeks. Could Lindsey Krause have an impact here today?
I think if Amalie Batenhorst is struggling on the left, whether that's with blocking or attacking, I think Nebraska will not hesitate to bring in Lindsey Krause. I think the same goes with Harper Murray. If she's struggling, I think Nebraska could potentially bring in Hayden Kubik. And if a middle's struggling, we may see Maggie Mendelson. I think that this match, I mean, you're in the national championship match. If something's not working, you have to try other options. And
no need to pace yourself or rest yourself. It's now.
Exactly. And I hope that all the starters out there play really well and don't have to be subbed out. But Lindsey Krause is able to go, from what we've been told, she can't play a full match. And so I think if they do use her, it will be periodically and as a subbing in, maybe giving Amalie Batenhorst a break. But hopefully we don't need Lindsey. And last time Amalie went off against Texas, she is from Texas. And so I think that she plays with extra motivation anytime we face off against the Longhorns.
What a treat. Today, not only a national championship in the balance, we get to add a chapter to the vaunted history of Nebraska-Texas volleyball. Time now for our pre-match conversation with the head coach, John Cook, brought to you by Sarpy County Tourism. Sarpy County, it's what weekends were made for. Go for a day, stay the whole weekend. Plan your next adventure at GoSarpy.com. The head coach is next. The Big Red and the Big Orange. This late afternoon, the national championship. You're listening to Big Red Volleyball.
Farming today is a combination of hard work, innovation, and partnerships to help keep us moving forward. Sapp Brothers Petroleum has provided us with fuel, propane, and lubricants on the farm for many years.
For over 52 years, Sapp Brothers has been a reliable partner to thousands of farmers across our great state. We work hard to make sure our customers have the most reliable supply, provided in the safest manner and at the most competitive price. Trust Sapp Brothers Petroleum to protect your equipment and keep your farm fueled. Sapp Brothers is proud to be an official partner of Huskers Athletics and to serve Nebraska farmers and Husker fans across America's heartland.
Bananas are only 39 cents a pound at Hy-Vee. That's not a sale price. That's the price with the Hy-Vee Perks membership. And 39 cents a pound is not just the price today or this week. It's the Perks price every day. With the Hy-Vee Perks membership, you can save on hundreds of products store-wide every time you shop. And count on Perks prices to stay the same. So if you want to pay less for bananas every day, sign up for Hy-Vee Perks. It's free and easy. Some restrictions apply.
When it's Husker volleyball time and our hunger spikes, we say go big with Dorothy Lynch. Dorothy serves up aces with every salad, marinade, and side dish. Dive in, dig up some Dorothy, and kill those cravings with the sweet, tangy spiciness of Dorothy Lynch. It's a perfect match every time.
Power Combo BOGO? Huh?
Yes, if you purchase an air conditioner, you receive a furnace completely free. At John Henry's, our professionals want to ensure you are comfortable in your home all year long, no matter what Nebraska has to throw at us. Call today to schedule your free estimate and learn more about the free furnace waiting for you. Give John Henry's a call today.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
And Electrical.
It's time to light up the season during the Make the Holidays Bright sales event. Get our best offers and choose from a huge selection of Ford F-150 trucks with the capability, convenience, and technology to help bring us together. Wow. Discover how Ford F-150 can make the holidays bright. Now, get a new 2023 Ford F-150 with 2.9% financing for 72 months. Only at your Midwest Ford dealers.
Let's pause 15 seconds for station identification on the Huskers Radio Network.
We're getting close. Texas and Nebraska, first serve. Clock is counting down. I'm John Baylor, visiting now with the head coach of Nebraska volleyball, Coach John Cook. Coach, Thursday, Sunday. In years past, was Thursday, Saturday. You like the extra day? You think it works out well for your team? Or you're thinking, you know what, it's a lot of time between matches?
It feels like a lot of time. It's been a long week, but I don't know. I think both of the schedules have an advantage. One, you kind of gotta get going, and then you're going, and this one you get a little more time, a little more downtime. So I think it was good for the team to have just some downtime, because otherwise, I mean, you know our schedule, you never stop down here. So it's practice, interviews, blah, blah, blah. So yesterday we finally got a day where we actually had a chance just to relax. They could go with their families, all that.
Everyone says, soak it in, soak it in. Well, if it's Thursday, Saturday, it's tough to soak it in. You're always busy.
Right. And I don't know, what does basketball do? They have a day in between, or?
I think it's 2 days. I think it's Friday, Sunday, or Thursday, Saturday.
Yeah. So anyway, it's probably because we're on ABC, and even though we're still on radio, and it's a Sunday, maybe they moved it to Sunday match. Because I wonder what the convention, all the coaches are here, have to stay an extra day. So that's expensive, and now you go home Monday, and so I'll be interested how many coaches that have been in this convention are still here.
And of course, you're focused on nuts and bolts, winning a volleyball match, but there's been a lot of talk about this moment in volleyball history, huge opportunity with that thing called television and ABC. Do you want to say anything about the magnitude of today for the sport?
I really don't know. The only thing I read was, ESPN's in 70-some million homes and ABC's in 140 or 25 million homes. So, but I think the fact that it is ABC and it's volleyball, I think that's the significant moment is, wow, this is now a major, TV station, is now televised in volleyball. And I think they did women's Final Four too, if I'm correct. So anyway, I think it's just, hey, volleyball is becoming big time.
IAT, it's about time. Now, what about your team? How have they handled this 6-day trip to Tampa and a lot of nice cloudy weather?
Like I said, we've been pretty busy. I know a lot of them are really appreciated spending time with their families, but they're going to be excited to play. I got to make sure they stay calmed down. This is a wild group. They get. Well, you're around them, I mean, it's. I almost felt like we were just playing the game match at lunch. So, but they're excited and and they're going to be fired up to play. It doesn't mean we're going to play great, but they're going to be excited, and I think they're going to go for it, which is all I can ask for.
Traditionally, Texas is known for big, physical, front row attacking, fairly slow offense. You kind of know what's coming, and they dare you to stop them. How about this year?
Well, those are the old days, JB. They're running a fast offense. They've got 2 players that are probably going to the national team. I mean, literally could be. Asia O'Neal was already on the national team starting last summer. So there's their middle, and then Maddie Skinner's. She's probably should have been player of the year. I mean, Franklin got it too, but Franklin got it, who had a great year, but Skinner's playing really, really well. She's does some really impressive things. So we're going to have to be a great side-out team to match these guys.
Now, Coach, one thing I hear more and more is that Nebraska is doing read blocking. They are read blockers. They're not commit blocking. They're not commit blockers. What's the difference between read blocking and commit blocking, and how big a deal is it if the Huskers are going to slow down Texas's offense?
Well, commit blocking means you're committing somewhere, and if they go the other way, then you're at a disadvantage. Read blocking is we're trying to get 3 blockers or 2 blockers on every hitter. So you kind of sit there and read. That's why the offenses are getting faster to counteract read blocking. So it's a chess game going on, and it's speed, but I think obviously we know how to train blocking defense and read blocking, and you just look at our results the last couple of years and our defensive rankings, but it takes a lot of work, and we spend a lot of time on it.
It seems to be particularly successful of late, especially in the person of Becca Alec. Why the sudden higher blocking numbers of late, and what's the difference with Becca?
Becca's, I think, she's still a young player, and she's just coming into her own as a blocker. I mean, read blocking is it's the hardest skill in volleyball. There's no question. Ask Jordan. It's the hardest skill. And read blocking is the hardest skill. But Becca works really hard, and she understands things and sees things really well, and that's why she has a chance to be a international player, because you got to be able to do that to get to that level.
It's head coach John Cook. His Huskers, your Huskers, getting ready to take on the Longhorns for the national championship. We'll continue this conversation when we come right back from downtown Tampa. You're listening to Big Red Volleyball.
Do you know the power of pork in Nebraska? 17,000 jobs supported by the pork industry. $1.6 billion in economic impact. Over 1,200 pig farms producing 7.8 million pigs. Nebraska's pig farmers serve an ace. Bacon, ribs, chops, oh my, just taste the power of pork. This message brought to you by the Nebraska pork producers through their checkoff.
It's more powerful than the legendary Husker option offense. More powerful than the black shirt defense. It's the sun, and you can harness its power with J-Tech Solar. J-Tech, the official solar energy experts of the Huskers, can help you shrink your energy bills and start saving money now. Solar power is clean, affordable, and it's dependable because the sun always shines on the Huskers. J-Tech Solar for your home, business, or agriculture energy needs. Visit jtechsolar.com.
Dear roads, trails, and rivers, you ready for some SUV action? Toyota SUVs can roll their sleeves up for tight turns and twisty trails. Dress up for a night out on the town, or head to the great outdoors. Take your family adventure game to a whole new level with the roomy Highlander. Make a serious splash with the rugged, revved up RAV4. And tow all your toys in the spacious new Sequoia. Don't forget the trail-taming 4Runner and the sleek Venza Hybrid. All Toyota SUVs feature a whole suite of creature comforts to keep you and yours cozy in the cabin. Check out this legendary lineup at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers. Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, or Baxter Toyota of Lincoln.
As a fan, you wear your jersey on your back and your heart on your sleeve. There's a place for people like you. The Cox Fan Zone. Play NFL Pick'em and Collegiate Pick'em for a chance to win a $100 Visa gift card each week, or even a $500 Visa gift card grand prize.
Hey, Husker fans, this is Greg Sharp. Say Fan Zone in your Contour voice remote to play. Not at home? Visit cox.com/fanzone. Go Big Red.
Welcome back. Amalie Arena, downtown Tampa. We're awfully close to giving you the starting lineups and serving this one up. The 2023 National Championship is right here on the HRN. I'm John Baylor, continuing our conversation with the head coach, John Cook. Coach, one thing I have not heard much of this week, and I've heard a lot. There's been a lot of coverage here. Age. Texas has 5 fourth-year players, 1 fifth-year player, and a 6-year player among their rotation of 9 or so. 5 fourth-year players, 1 fifth-year player, and a 6-year player. Average age has got to be around 21 and a half, at least among those who are significant contributors. For Nebraska's significant contributors, it's got to be 2 years younger, 19 and a half. Those are all approximations. Does that make any difference today?
I don't know. We've been dealing with that all year. We'll have to see how it goes, but they are older, more experienced, and they're defending national champions. So, I think we have one player that's 20. No, I think Kennedy just turned 21. So we have two players that are 21 years old. But sometimes, youth, you don't worry about that stuff.
All right, Coach, after this long wait, you finally happy to be done with interviews like this and actually play this thing?
Yeah, this is all great. This is fun. It's there's a lot of attention, but it's a long season. You're kind of like, I'm thinking everybody else is playing golf and doing all this, but what a great opportunity for us, and this is what we work hard for, to be in this position, and it's part of it, and we're doing our part in promoting the sport of volleyball and making the Husker Nation proud. I've heard from so many Nebraska people, whether they're here or whether they're emailing or they're inspired by our team, and I think that's one of the biggest compliments we could ever get.
We've only talked about two of their main players. Of course, they have a lot of other great ones. What are the keys for Nebraska this afternoon?
Yeah, O'Neal and Skinner and those guys are going to get some kills. So we're going to have to be a really good side-out team today, which means we got to pass. So passing will be a key. We've got to stress them. They've got a young setter. If we can stress her and bother her a little bit, I think that'll be an advantage for us. And then there's going to probably come down to a couple deuce games, and we're going to have to make some big kills out of system, and as we say, max it out when it matters most. And that's what these matches come down to, and so our teams, it's what we train, and we say this a lot of the times. That's what it'll come down to.
How impressed were you with Texas's performance on Thursday over Wisconsin?
They played really well. They played great against Stanford too. They're on fire right now. And but I was more disappointed in what happened in Wisconsin, because they looked like they'd never played volleyball before. So you just wonder. But that's why you got to see what teams handle these moments the best. But I know we're going to have fun and play hard.
That's it, Coach John Cook. His Huskers, your Huskers, taking on the Longhorns. You know the ramifications. When we come right back, we're going to play this thing. You'll hear it right here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Feel like you're always on the run? Me too. As an independent financial professional, I help all kinds of busy people. Young families planning for college, couples working toward retirement, people securing their legacy. Wherever you are in life, Emeritus can help you get more out of life with insurance, employee benefits, and financial services. You're moving fast. Let's help make sure you're on the path to a fulfilling life. Find your next step at emeritus.com. Insurance products issued by Emeritus Life Insurance Corp.
Woodhouse Nissan offers a convenient and streamlined way to purchase your next vehicle from home. Lease a 2023 Nissan Rogue SV for $299 a month for 36 months and 5,000 miles per year. With approved credit, tax, title, license extra, $2,999 down or trade equity. First payment and $299 doc fee due at signing. $500 My 23 year-end bonus cash rebate and $625 and MAC lease cash rebate available towards deal. Discounted price based on sale price of $31,600. VIN number PW350801. Offer expires December 31st, 2023. See dealer for details.
Out here, we raise stronger people, stronger crops, and we proudly raise our flag to that. Let the weather, pests, and pressures try to beat us down. We only keep growing up. With the next-gen genetics, the pure acre-for-acre know-how of these soils, and a deep pride of our roots, we are born to raise at Hogemeyer. Learn more at therightseed.com.
DIY? Didn't you just call an electrician? The online videos can only take you so far, and John Henry's is here to pick up where you left off. With our full-service electrical department, John Henry's is prepared to tackle all of your electrical needs, from a simple outlet change to a full panel replacement. We've got you covered. Call John Henry's to schedule today.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing. Heating and air.
You'll be seeing us around soon, and when you do, I bet you'll call us BMO.
Don't worry, it's more common than you think, but we actually pronounce it BMO. As in, with BMO, you can earn a cash reward every month you save. Or, did you know BMO's been helping customers for over 200 years? So when you do see us, pop in and say hi. Not to BMO, to BMO. And yes, bank is still pronounced bank. Learn more about us at BMO.com. BMO. Conditions apply. Accounts are subject to approval and are provided in the United States by BMO Bank N.A. member FDIC.
This is Nebraska Postseason Volleyball, presented by John Henry's, the official plumbing, HVAC, and electrical partners of the Huskers.
Welcome back, Amalie Arena, downtown Tampa. We are minutes away. Nebraska and Texas, the national championship in 2023. Your Huskers trying to go for title number 6. Texas trying to make it their 4th ever. Starting lineup time. Texas, the head coach is Jared Elliott. In his 23rd year, he's been to 11 Final Fours in his last 16 years. This is his 7th title match in the last 15 years. For Nebraska, it's their 5th title match in the last 9 years. These are two juggernauts intersecting in downtown Tampa. One assistant coach, used to be for 3 years an assistant coach at Nebraska, Eric Sullivan. By the way, Jared Elliott inducted into the Hall of Fame just earlier this year. Ella Swindle is their freshman setter. A freshman setter is going to lead a school to a national championship there. So it will just be the 3rd time ever. Bryn Kehoe did it in 04 for for Stanford. And then Jenna Gray in 2016 also for Stanford. Rachel Holloway in 2006 was a freshman, led the Huskers to the promised land. She was a redshirt freshman. Ella Swindle for Texas. She's a 6'3" freshman out of Columbia, Missouri. Will try to do it for Texas. Bergen will try to turn the trick for Nebraska. She is a 6'1" freshman out of Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Nebraska in the white tops, short sleeve. These are their home uniforms. And Texas in those road burnt orange classic tops, long sleeves. Emma Halter is their libero. She's a 5'5" sophomore out of Indianapolis. Bella Bergman is in the middle. She doesn't get a lot of action. She is one of 5 transfers. All of them play. She comes from California, Berkeley. She's in her 2nd year with Texas, a 6'2" middle. Bella Bergman. Madison Skinner's everybody's All-American on the outside. How do the Huskers slow her down? She's averaging more than 5 kills a set in the postseason. For the season, just under 5 kills a set. Meanwhile, with all those swings, she's hitting almost 300. Madison Skinner's already got 2 national championships, one with Kentucky, one with Texas. She's out of Katy, Texas, and a transfer from the Wildcats. The colors are here. Time for the end. We are ready as the scoreboard projected beautiful images of the nation's capital, the Statue of Liberty, Nebraska and Texas getting ready to surround a net. Unless there be any confusion, at least 2/3 of the fans here are wearing red, and they're making a lot more noise currently than those Texas fans. So Texas is starting lineup. Ella Swindle is your setter. Emma Halter, the libero. Bella Bergmark, one of their 2 middles. Madison Skinner, their future Olympian on the outside. Asia O'Neill's already playing with the national team. She's out of South Lake, Texas. She's a 6th-year player. She redshirted, and then she got the COVID year. Leads the team in blocks with 1.6. Carissa Barnes will play in the back row. She's out of Weatherford, Texas. She's one of these 5 transfers, all of whom play. She played against Nebraska in August of 22 while on the Texas A&M Corpus Christi team. Coach Cook was impressed by her. She was a great libero. The 3-time Southland Conference Libero of the Year, Carissa Barnes, has transferred to the home state university for her 4th season. Keonielei Akana is a 4th-year junior, former Husker out of Hawaii, a 5'9" libero. For the Big Red, she was 7th in the Big Ten Conference in aces, so the Huskers have got to be able to handle her serve. Madison Skinner's serve as well. Madison had 6 service aces on Thursday against Wisconsin. Jenna Wennis, she's one of the keys in this one. The transfer from Minnesota, 3 years there. She's a 4th-year junior now here. 6'1" outside, hitting around 200. Molly Phillips has been around for a generation. She's a 5th-year senior, 5-year starter. Right side, 6 feet 5 inches tall. They teach height very well at Texas. She's out of Mansfield, Texas. Honorable mention All-American a year ago. So Molly Phillips on the right side. The setter is Ella Swindle. Emma Halter's her fine libero, taking over at that spot from Zoe Fleck a year ago. Bella Bergmark in the middle. Madison Skillner and Jenna Wennis on the left side.